Today, today, 1.8 billion teens own mobile phones. Teens use mobile phones to coordinate their lives, share information, and socialize. Needless to say, mobile phones are redefining how we interact with one another. And I wanted to take a bit of a closer look. How exactly is the next generation forming relationships? More specifically, I wanted to look at how teens, specifically girls, are forming friendships using mobile phones. I had the chance to sit down with 3 sets of girls between the ages of 16 and 17 years old and ask them about the impact text messaging had on their friendship. How did that affect their quality and formation of their friendships, and what were their motivations? Out of that conversation, I ended up finding out 3 different themes: relationships, interpretation, and trust and power. The first theme, relationships. The girls all noted that text messaging was predominantly used for establishing and maintaining their friendships. Girls just felt it was easier to break the ice, get to know one another, and develop stronger bonds. What was very interesting from my conversations was that the girls tended to lump their friends into 2 categories: friend versus family. Family, you told your deepest, darkest secrets to. Friends, they just got the general drift. The second theme that emerged was interpretation. The girls said there was a real art in deciphering a text message. There was a need to add or personalize this technology. You had to add a little bit of emotion to it because you weren't able to figure that out when you received a text. So the girls ended up using emoticons or BlackBerry Messenger status updates to let them know how they feel. And if you didn't send a winky face or a happy face or a sad face, usually misunderstandings as well as arguments ended up pursuing. What I found fascinating was that each of the girls talked a lot about their inability to transition a conversation that they were having over text message to a face-to-face interaction. They just couldn't do it, and they found it very awkward in hallways. The other thing that the girls tended to note was a lot of their friends had dual personalities, so they felt that their friends could say whatever they wanted on text message, but they couldn't say it to them face to face. The third theme that I ended up discovering was around really trust and power. The girls noted that they learned usually the hard way who to trust. Erin here said, "So I've learned the hard way. I only trust 3 people." And if that information got into the wrong hands, usually gossip, rumors, and bullying ended up being the result. The girls usually said that the texting would start a bullying or start the rumors, and then it would go to Facebook or social media where everyone would weigh in on the matter. 3 out of the 6 girls I interviewed said they were cyberbullied. Justine here says it takes 5 minutes. You think that the weekends are safe, but the weekends are breeding grounds for rumors. Places that once were safe, home, after school, now made all these girls vulnerable to attacks. And they didn't know how to deal with it. They figured they would just ignore it. And if it became really bad, they would just delete that person off their contact list. So now, after my conversations with these girls, I realized I had so many more questions. I had questions for future considerations, questions regarding gender use, how we use mobile phones, and the way we develop our friendships. The first question I had really was this whole idea around the new classification of friendship, friend versus family. And my question is, has this new classification of friendship emerged because of social media platforms like Facebook, where everyone is a friend? And the second question I had was regarding the use of humanizing this technology. Why did we need to do this? And what were the positive and negative effects that this had on not only their friendships, but how they communicated with all of their relationships? The third question I had was around this texting world versus their real life world. And it really begs the question, are we just not giving this generation the life skills needed to make them successful in life? Are they going to be able to solve confrontation face to face? Regardless of what these outcomes were, each girl said that they would take all these negative trade-offs just so that they could have an instantaneous connection with their friend. Because, let's be honest, their phone was now their new BFF.